Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. My name is Misty, and this reading is for July 2019 for the full moon. And we are going to be looking at what house this full moon takes place in for you, and then pull some cards and do some reading on that as well. So it takes place in your 8th house, and the 8th house is the house of inner transformation. This is a partial lunar eclipse, and it is taking place next to the South Node and a couple retrogrades around it. And so the 8th house is really about our, inner values. So it really, we're going to be looking in ourselves of places that we're holding on to our past and those past patterns within ourselves that it's really time for us to let go of. Really time for us to release. So quick little spill. My name is Misty. It's a general reading. It may resonate. It may not. And if it does, great. I hope that you get some value out of it. So we'll pull some oracle cards, and then we will pull some tarot cards. So one and the other. So the first card that we get here is the Holy Mountain. And this card is really about what activity that you're taking to get to your higher self. What journey are you going on? What crevices, what cracks, what peaks are you having to traverse? And I guess I feel like there is some need just to get going, some need just to have the activity of moving forward. Because I feel like, Geminis can be so busy doing so many things, and it's really time to like slow down. There's a lot of focus on that mental energy. That Mercury is in retrograde as well, and it's really going to be bringing a focus to that mental energy of going within. So this is really a good time to go deeper within yourself and really let go of any doubt, because sometimes we look at the journey in front of us and it just seems like so much to do that it's almost like there is some sense of laziness or like what's the word, like doubt or self-doubt and that sort of stuff that comes up that keeps us from moving into our place of power and moving into our higher selves. So I just really want to encourage you that you have everything that you need already. Everything that you need. So our next card that we have is our Taming the Wind card. It's really beautiful. And these two cards are really the cards that you're working on. And the wind is the chaos. That's the wind is the mental energy and the way that we're thinking. So this is all about clearing up misunderstandings. And this is misunderstandings in ourselves and misunderstandings from the past. The feather here really is, the feather is a symbolism and used in ceremonies to really like clear past energies, clear energies that are stagnant, that really need to move on. And so, having maybe using some sage and Palo Santo and that sort of thing would be really good, and working with the feather as well through this period, and really working on right listening. Like, what is right listening? What is actually listening to what other people are saying, instead of trying to really put your viewpoint or what you have to say down on the table all the time. And looking at your inner life and those areas where you're wanting to speak. I just see some value in actually, because the name of this one's Taming the Wind. So there's some value in taming that speech and coming back within and setting up that space and really going within this, So maybe some of you, a nice little vow of silence might be fun, but maybe not fun. But even for an hour or two, they can actually be a lot of fun, to be honest. I've had some fun experiences with those. And then next up, my Gemini friends, on our positive side, we have some counsel. So I see that through that journey going inward and through that silence and that listening, there's some deep wisdom there that you have access to. And really being able to see that and listen to your inner guidance and your inner senses, and choosing to have a relationship with life, choosing to go on this journey where you deeply love the world around you and what is in front of you. You deeply love yourself. You deeply love to engage in the journey to your higher self, this Mountain card here, and practice forgiveness of the self and forgiveness with the people around you. That's really what the new moon in Cancer has been. One of the main themes has been is this idea of forgiveness, but also this idea of having faith in life, having faith that you are guided, having faith that you don't need to know if you're going to make it to the top of the mountain to start the journey. It's about actually just starting the journey and taming the things that are keeping you from actually starting your journey and stepping into the next step, next place for you to go. But to have that relationship with yourself and with life as you're moving forward and you're moving up. And you know, the next card that we have is the Circle. And I love this card because a lot of these cards feel like very much about you and your inner card. And this card leads you to a place of how you are in your community. The Circle. I love all of the hands. This is one of my favorite cards. I'll have a lot of favorites. I do have a lot of favorites. So this one's all about unification. This is about people coming together to work together to really create something. You know, this is about co-creation and play and work and service. And just knowing that what you have to contribute in your space is you have a lot of value to bring forward. You have a lot of, you have a lot of value. And so it's ever evolving, this connection, and it's ever moving forward as it goes. But there's also this sense of like playfulness that comes in through this releasing of the past, through this choosing to have forgiveness and to work and to play together. There's really this playfulness that comes in and this unification that comes in of working together. And I see the unification in a few different ways. Actually, you know, it'd be kind of fun to actually pull some cards. We're going to do something a little different on these and see where that actually takes us. It might not work. It's okay. It's an experiment. I mean, it always works, right? So, all right. So this is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. And we're going to pull a couple tarot cards now for the full moon on July 16th, taking place in the 8th house for you guys. These cards are just going everywhere. All of them. Let's do a different shuffle. All right, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising, July. Oh, I love this. So with the Holy Mountain card, what I got right beneath it is the 10 of Wands. And I love that there's an actual mountain here and the burden that he feels like he has to carry that goes to the mountain. And I guess, you know, I want to suggest to you to set down some of the burdens. It's not as much as you think it is. And maybe sometimes it's like when you first like work out or something, or you first start doing cardio, it's like the first like 5 or 10 minutes, you're like, why did I do this? And then it gets a little bit easier as you keep going. So there's definitely something about the journey that might seem like too much for you. And there's some defensiveness that I'm seeing that's coming with this taming of the wind and this like choosing to be silent. But there's this defensiveness and this like desire to defend the self and this armor that's been built around the self. And it's like the ground is crumbling beneath that and allowing this space of silence. So here underneath the Council, what both of these cards, they have their eyes closed. They have their eyes turned away and they're going within. And within, the water is still. The water is silent. And so if there's something that you've had doubt or indecision about, or you're not sure what to do, because I really feel that with these first 3 cards, there's going to be a breakthrough here where there's going to be able to be movement through those areas and really be able to see what it is. But through that inner journey of going within, it's like the struggle becomes less, because this has been the struggle. The struggle becomes less, and through that inner journey brings the change, and you are headed to a really beautiful place. And so that journey is just very, very important for you at this point in time, to move into a place of play and joy. For some of you, there could be a relationship coming in, especially with the Circle and the Wheel of Fortune being together. Look, they're all so similar together. It's just really beautiful. And so we're going to pull a couple more cards on these last 2, and I think that'll maybe be it for this one. So 2 more cards on these last 2. So let's clarify the 2 of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Clarifying the Wheel of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, so there's a need to surrender and sacrifice and a resistance to that surrender and sacrifice because of the fear of the change that it's going to bring. But I feel like whatever change it's going to bring, the writing's already there on the wall. There's already something there that you can see And even though it might be a little scary and it might destroy the current manifestation of the way that your life is, it's going to bring you to a better place, and that energy needs to be let go of. And so while one thing seems to crumble, another thing is building up simultaneously. So for some of you, this full moon lunar eclipse is really going to signify an ending, and it could be a sacrifice that you're avoiding making, and you're really avoiding moving into, but you're asking to make that sacrifice. And it really feels like it's time for you to go within that sacrifice of, I'm going to set down the Netflix, I'm going to set down going out, I'm going to set down my next thing on my list. Gemini's like, so like, oh, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And but slowing down and making those sacrifices and creating that sacred space to go within, to be present, and to join into this dance of life that you're being called into. Okay. All right. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you so much. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and leave me a comment down below. I hope you guys enjoyed it and got some value out of it. And I will see you later. Bye.